Hi, this is Katie Weeks, your independent Stampin' Up! Demonstrator. So tonight we have a very interesting challenge ahead of us. So we got this from Callia and it says October 2025 mystery envelope. This month's challenge is the Love Your Stash Challenge. I'm including some DSP from the Perennial Lavender collection. That's what these are. And die cuts from the Perennial Postage. I believe that's all of these with the deckled type edges. And Pretty Florals, that's what these die cuts are. Collections plus embellishments from the Shades of Green Hexagons. That's what these are. And this challenge is to pair these non-holiday themed items with products from the September to December 2025 mini catalog, September online exclusive, or November exclusives to create a scrapbook layout, any size, 1 or 2 pages, or 5 cards. Each card should be unique, themed to any Halloween through New Year's Day, autumn, or early winter holidays. You must use at least a little bit of every item included. A cut from the DSP, one of the sprigs, one of the embellishments. Post your video by October 25th. Can't wait to see what you create. So I can do cards, I can do a layout, and I keep kind of going back and forth about what I might do. If I go with cards, that gives me some other options. So the first thing I'm going to try to do is not overcomplicate this. I can easily see some holiday cards that I could do with this. And I need to be making Christmas cards anyways. I've kind of been working on those lately. 'Tis the season, right? So I might as well kill 2 birds with 1 stone. And I'm going to make these card bases. I'm going to make these mats for card bases. How do these look? Oh yeah, definitely. So let's make this. Let's go 5 3/8 by 4 1/8. And we'll do our card this way. And we have this. I might actually go with the darker one so that there's more contrast there. And I also have a wonderful little edge for the inside that I can put across the bottom inside the card too. Next, I kind of liked how that one looked, so let's do that again. 5 3/8. 4 1/8. And here we go. I like that brighter one with this instead of this darker one because the dark on dark was just a little much. And I can use this inside. We'll cut it. It's about 5/8. And we'll make it go all the way down the side. There's the base of both of those. These embellishments I love. I think I can make some little cluster type things out of them to use on a couple cards. So we might have a couple cards that are similar. These might almost be good inside. If I'm clustering some things on the outside, I might be able to cluster some things on the inside too. See which of those we like better. So we got a few different clusters to work with. And then this, I think I can get 3 cards out of it, right? So if I go 4 inches, ooh, let's go 5 1/4. And then we go 4 inches each. That gives me, perfect, 3 more of these card fronts. And it says to use things from this current catalog. I have some Glimmer paper that's from this current catalog. It is the Peaceful Garden 12 by 12 Glimmer paper. These are the ones I still have left, these 2 things. And I think both of them I can make work, but I think that's pretty good. I'm going to cut this down some just to make it easier to work with. I really want to use this, but at the same time, I'm tempted to bring in this. So maybe I won't use them on the same cards, but I have these Greetings for You Mix and Match Ephemera pack, and they have a lot of holiday greetings on them. So let's play a little bit. When I go to build these little clusters, I try to use those bigger pieces to ground the whole cluster unit together. And then I like to turn the next square the opposite way just to give it some visual interest. And it really lets the contrast of the 2 colors stand out. 2 or 3 just different sizes and shapes of objects. And these little sprigs are great items to fill in with other clusters. This particular cluster just happens to be all botanical. So that's just fine, and they're different types, but I try to use different shades of color and different shapes and sizes and things like that to make my cluster. And don't forget to use up your scraps. If you can use up scraps to just add a little bit of interest to the inside of the card, then I think that's a great way. It's better than throwing them out or having tiny pieces that you never get to. I think at the very end of this video, the little scraps I had left, I tried to use those inside some of these cards as well. These have a peel back. They're actually stickers, which is wonderful. 'Tis the season. And I'm going to bring in some ribbon, trying to decide which one. I think I'm going to bring in this darker one just because it's easier to work with both sides. So to make my bow, I'm just going to loop this around my fingers a couple of times. And when I get a couple of loops going around, I'm going to cut it off. And then I'm going to cut another piece and just tie a knot around it. Nothing fancy, nothing hard. So don't forget, while it is still October, we still have that awesome join special going on for just another few days. So if you are in the United States, you can do one of two things. You can join for $35 and pick out $125 worth of product to get in your kit, or you can join with $99, the normal price, but you would now get $189 worth of product, and you get free shipping on that. This is a fabulous deal. So if you are interested, jump over to katieweeks.stampinup.net and hit join, and you can read about the offer. I'm going to actually stick this down with some mini dimensionals because they are very sticky. Now pop it up and give it some dimension. And then I will be adding sentiments inside, of course, later. So there's one down. I think I can replicate the same thing for this quickly. So today I had a crop at our local library, and we had a great group of ladies that showed up, and we got to make some cards together and had a really nice time. I hope if you enjoyed the crop, you can come back. We have another crop scheduled. The next one is January 31st. And we set up a couple other dates too. There's going to be a mini album workshop coming. Ooh, isn't that pretty? I really like those. Okay. I think I'm going to add some of these traditional sparkling sequins. These sequins, I will tell you, it's basically like, think glitter paper and just punched with hole punches of different sizes. That's what this honestly reminds me of. There's that one. Let's try some other sizes too. So I mentioned that I have a mini album workshop on January 8th. That one will be at my house, and more information will be coming about that workshop. Yeah, I'd like that added to it. I don't know if we still have these in stock. I think these sold very quickly. Okay, when I cut this, I like to cut it with a separate trimmer because these kind of things are kind of rough on our trimmers, honestly. I don't know if I have a rhyme or reason for what I'm doing quite yet. I think I want to build another small cluster on each of these cards that I have remaining. Looks to me to be a pretty peacock. Is that what it looks like to you? So let's see what size these are. Ooh, I like that. I cut these 3 by 4, so these are 3.5 by 4.5. That definitely adds some personality to it. Let's assemble these, and then I'll have one more that I need to work with. Some of the items that I've been using have been from the September through December mini catalog, but we also have some new items that are coming that are online exclusives that will start in November. So make sure you keep your eyes on the website to see those items. I am really looking forward to some of them. I've got a few of them. I just didn't work them into these holiday cards that we have for our mystery envelope challenge, but I definitely am excited about the ones that I have received. I got a sneak peek of some of them, and they are really nice. I think I'm making a bit of a mess with my wet glue here, but the wet glue really holds that paper well to the Glimmer paper. So that's why I am using that with this particular paper. I think I'm going to put a sentiment up here. I think these could look nice. Or I think these blue, but I think these almost blend in too much. So I think I'm going to stick with these. And I have 2 different sizes here. I have some larger ones and smaller ones. So what I think I'm going to do is use 1 large one here and 2 on this one. And then 1 small one down here. And 2 up here. And now I need to add some sort of sentiment there. And maybe I could even cut out something from this pretty peacock. So I have these words for the season dies. So we have lots of wishes here. And I think I'm going to do Happy New Year because I think these colors are really pretty for that. Okay, so I'm gonna stick these sentiments down. Do you make New Year's cards? It's one of those things that I usually have good intentions and I don't always get around to it. So I'm excited to have a few New Year's cards made for this year. Maybe I will be better about making those in the future. I feel like I get so far into making all of my Christmas cards, and then by the time I finish making all of my Christmas cards, I'm just like, I am done. And then I want to scrapbook and do something different besides cards for a while. So I glue the sentiment down on the front of both cards. They basically turn out pretty similar. And then I'm ready to work on one last card and figure out what I can do for that one. And I think I'll probably make it into a New Year's card as well, just because I'm on a roll. Why not? So I'm going to go ahead and stick this down, and I'll use some of that pretty peacock, and I was able to squeak out a Happy New Year's out of some little scrap that I had of that Glimmer paper, and I'm going to glue that down on the front, and so I think that will work just fine. When I glue this one down, I think I'm just going to start by doing the bottom row first, the word year. I will glue that one down first, and then I'm going to glue the top one down because I am working on a little bit more limited space by this square than what I had on my other two cards. So then I will center up and put down the word happy at the top, and then I can kind of center that word new in the middle. And that's just one of the tricks that I use sometimes to get things evenly spaced. I will work the top and the bottom, and then I will go back and do the middle afterwards. That's just a little tip for you on how I like to do spacing. I really like this Perennial Lavender paper that Callia sent. I've not bought this particular DSP, and I really like the backside the best of all of these, but they're just so soft and they're pretty versatile because all of the greens and the botanical, and it's like a rather neutral color palette with the tans going through. So this was a fun one to work with. I'm glad you sent this because I've not had this particular set to work with, Callia. And I actually did not have the Perennial Postage dies either. I'm kind of surprised, but I think I have some other postage dies from before we came over to Stampin' Up. There we go. I have 5 holiday cards, and I have used up almost every bit of what was sent. And here I'm cutting down just some of the last pieces of scrap and adding those to the inside of the cards. This one I kind of cut it in half and decided I could even mat some of the other scraps to give it just a little bit more visual interest. Isn't that cute? And now there's a green mat all the way around it. And I'll put that inside the cards. And then when you have the cards, it just gives it a little bit of something on the inside. So I like to decorate in there too. Very little scrap left. My tiniest little scraps left. So I have 3 New Year's and 2 Christmas cards out of everything that you sent, Callia. I hope I fulfilled the challenge okay. And here's one last look at all 5 of the cards. I really like them. Like, comment, share, and subscribe for more crafty inspiration.